10 points. It's 5 for the build-up and the execution of the plots, and 5 for the recall and finish. So it's a 10-point exercise broken into 5 parts. So yes, if you have a faulty foos, now it's encroaching on all your motion exercises, because your foos has to be there. But you can't anticipate the motions. And if you do, it might come back and haunt you. Especially if you're doing, I mean, like Germany has a really tough right now. There's a few people. If you hit your Landesgruppen, the Bundesliga, and the Worlds, you might be doing 3 trials all within 6 weeks. They know they know the recall's coming. They know it's coming. They know a call out of the blind's coming, but you can't anticipate it. So I try to really teach my dogs anticipation you can't do, even though you know it's coming. So the big thing that I see is people losing control on their dogs, especially a lot of the young dogs in our area. They're losing control in a trial setting when they don't have that first luxury of a correction. When it's like...
The dog realizes they can get away with it?
Well, yeah, and they're constantly... So here's what I call, like with an e-collar. When I use the e-collar, I call it a mosquito versus an 8-foot wall. Let's say I don't want my dog jumping out of a yard. So I build an 8-inch fence, and my dog jumps out. I'm like, whoa, that didn't work. So the next day I build a 9-inch fence. It jumps out. That didn't work. At the end, I have a dog scaling an 8-foot wall. You know what I mean? I might as well make that 8-foot with the puppy right from the beginning. So there's certain things that I never allow. One's dog aggression. Unwarranted dog aggression. I mean, I get onto actually a little puppy pretty harsh for dog aggression. Where I want my dog aloof. Where it doesn't even...
aggression.
What's that?
Or people aggression.
Yeah, people. I mean, I take a look at things that get you dismissed. What gets you dismissed in a trial? I mean, checking in. If a dog shows pressure on the check-in, microchip or tattoo check, staring at another dog. Like you see this especially with new handlers. They're reporting in, and they're being very professional. And you have this male, Roddy, looking at this male, Roddy, and they're just eyeing each other. I'm like, this is about to get ugly on the plots and recall, you know, on the long down dog. This is going to get a little bit ugly. So I tell all my handlers, do not be professional till your second 3 or your... I'm not even going to be professional with this young dog. My dog just turned 3, this black dog. His name is Ark. He just turned 3. I guarantee when I'm reporting in obedience, I'm like this. Hello, I'm not going to be like this. With Arna, I could be like this. I'm like, I already know you. You know trialing and everything. But him, I don't know what he's going to do first time on a big stage. I'm not going to be professional. I'm going to be like this. Yeah, I'm going to make sure I know what my dog's doing. So it's real important that I have complete focus and my dog understands the work ethic.
Good question. Right at that point, when you're there and you're looking at your dog and shaking hands. If your dog looks away or shows aggression, what are you going to do?
Well, in training, I say the word Ark.
Yeah, but in training, yeah.
So what would I do there? Ark.
Oh, okay.
I'll use his name.
Right.
Now, if my dog's...
You want to get away from your
The very first thing that I correct all dogs for is name recognition. That's the very first thing. So the first thing on a prong collar is when I... Actually, like with a little puppy at this age, it wouldn't be a prong, it would be like a harness. I say, what's his or her name?
We're deciding.
Oh.
Sparrow.
So, dog, I would say dog, and I'd give a little pop, good girly. My
Girl.
bridge, good boy,
Girl.
So good girly, and I'd pay. So I still use my bridge, good girly. So my dog understands when a name is used. What's the very first thing that I use the e-collar for? Name recognition. So when I use the e-collar, here's the lowest of all my corrections. I'm talking the negative. Remember the 4 categories. Here's my negative. I use leash in conjunction with the word no. So I'm teaching my dog foos, starts dropping its head, no, pop. So no is the very first correction in conjunction with the leash. The second is no in conjunction with the leash and E together. No, tick. The third highest is a no in conjunction with only the E. And the 4th highest I call it a silent correction. I don't even say no. You're supposed to know exactly what you're doing. So if I say to my dog, Ark, like right now, I guarantee if I say Ark, that head didn't whip around, I'm giving it a silent correction. Tick, tick. Good boy. So what's my very first call out of the blind? Very first call out. My dog's never seen a call out. Doof, 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 Ark, here, boots. So I use their name on the first call out. My very first dumbbell throw. Very first, so I done all the small things with the dumbbell. Right when I throw the dumbbell out and I say, bring. Right when he touches the dumbbell, Ark. I expect the head to come. So I use their name, blind search. Right when I see that head come around the blind, arc. When I say your name, your head better be whooping around. Which means if my dog is standing here in this setting, and these are things I like to prove, he's plots there. And I have him on a relax, not a formal plot. So a relax means I don't care if you're sniffing, I don't really care what you're doing. And I go, arc, that head better be whooping in this setting right now, which means you always have to have one ear on me. I don't care how high the stimuli is. So like I was at an airport and all those names were going overhead, and I heard Joel Monroe report to G3, and I was in the middle of a conversation. I said, hang on, I heard my name. Even though, like all of us, like at a crosswalk or wherever, we can recognize our name. I expect no matter what the stimuli is with my dog, protection. Whenever I say your name, that head better be whooping around. And if it's not whooping around, I have to put pressure on you. So the very first thing is, I always say, if you ever come down and you train with me, if you ever see me without an e-collar or a line in my hand in training, call me on it. You will never, because that is the consistency. Not where one time I get a correction, one time I don't get a correction. One time I get a correction for an, or I say it's better not to correct, then just go straight positive. And straight positive can only take you so far. I always hope I have a dog, or like Johnny Deegans. I don't know if you guys know Johnny Deegans. He had 4 100s at the World Championships in tracking, and 2 100s with 2 different dogs. So 4 100s. I mean, the guy could track, and he said, Joel, great trackers never have to force their dog to track. And I said, Johnny, then I suck. I don't know. Every one of my dogs I have to put pressure on. You will souk, which means there's a time when they want to quit. Now, what is the pressure? My female Malinois, what was her pressure? Souk. That's all she needed. So when I say pressure, you guys got to remember, there's that whole spectrum. I mean, you have to know your dog. That could be your pressure on the dog. Not. Souk. Good girlie. That's all she needed. With the black dog that I had, that's why I say it's real important you guys to have a foundation though. So my dog Arc, we'll see how he tracks in nationals this year. On a Schutzen 1 he got 99, on a Schutzen 2 98, on his 3 is 99. So we're sitting at 99, 98, 99 on his, he's trialed 3 times. I don't know how he's going to do at nationals, we'll see. Between the 1 and 2, he started kind of getting a little bit, because I corrected him when he went off the track. Fooey, bam, and I gave him a correction. Well, now it's all of a sudden, it's not so fun anymore. I don't like this tracking. And now I'm like, you will souk. You are going to souk. You coming back to me, that is the worst mistake you can ever make in your life. Do not ever come back to me. So now my dog was down. He was very down. He wasn't liking tracking. So I did some pressure, like 3 or 4 days, maybe 4 days of pressure on the track. And then he started going. So my very next day after he got through the pressure, the way I teach my articles is I put 1 article at the end and I put 3 pieces of food before the article. That's how his articles are taught. So the very first time I teach an article, my dog's never seen an article. I put food here. I don't shape the articles off the track. That's just how I do. Put 3 pieces of food. And the first time they see an article is I go Platz, and then they're eating those 3. So they start understanding, there's a reward right when I say Platz on the article. Does that make sense? The very next track after the 4 days of pressure on the track, guess what my very next track was when he finally got through it? An article and 3 pieces of food. I went all the way back to his foundation. And you know what? He got happy because he's like, I remember this. He went back to the familiar. So it'd be like if Paul and I are in Romania right now and we're speaking English on